Welcome back, guys. Mid-Ohio Auto Styling. It's Jeremy and Marcus. What do we got here today, Marcus?
Well, we got a 2021 Gladiator. It's a Willy'S edition. We're gonna do some custom vinyl on it. We're gonna do a full vehicle wrap and kind of go through some frequently asked questions. So.
Oh, you said we're gonna shoot a rap video. I totally thought we were doing something else.
Yeah, I couldn't line up the chicks, so.
No. Making a rap video, Marcus. So we're gonna have this thing for a few days. We're gonna do some wrapping on it. We got some cool custom wrap we're gonna put on it. It's not a theme wrap like you see on some of these vehicles these days. It's a digital camo we're about ready to put on. Looks very, very cool. As you can see now, the vehicle's already started into the prep phase. We getting her cleaned up, ready to go. It takes a lot of prep to get these suckers ready to go. We got to take off the handles. Almost all the vinyl goes around the edges in almost every panel. So you got to pull everything off that's in the way. And then we do an alcohol prep. It has to be pristine clean before you even try to do this. There's a big difference between a cheap wrap and a good wrap.
It always helps get a vehicle in that has less than 2,000 miles on it too, but it is Ohio and it was covered in salt. And really, even though it was clean from the dealer, you don't really know, especially on a white vehicle, what's actually on it because you really can't see it. So we obviously tear them all the way down. It's gonna give you the best result. Just because you're able to get behind all those angles, it'll make it easier for the installer to get behind all that stuff.
And you see a lot of disassembly is required to get this thing done correctly. That's the major difference between a $1,000 wrap and a $4,000 wrap. There's only two main costs involved in it. You got your material and you got your labor. The only reason you can get a $1,000 wrap is because someone didn't do the labor. That's what happened. You got to pull all this stuff off. You got to get it tough correctly in order for it to come out right.
This is what they call a satin finish on this, which is great for hiding any type of scratches. So like this is a Jeep, it'll be a Jeep doing Jeep stuff hopefully, and you're not going to see any of that stuff. Where you do a gloss film, it's a lot more care involved in taking care of something that's gloss.
Now, wraps are a great option. It gives you the ability to customize your vehicle without actually tearing up the paint job whatsoever. This stuff is 100% peelable, can last 5 to 10 years on a good quality material. This material right here is said good quality. What do we actually have here, Marcus?
This is Avery Supreme wrap. It's one of my favorites actually. This is our shop vehicle in the background actually, and it's has 40,000 miles on that wrap, and it's also Avery Supreme.
And when we get into these bigger jobs that take a lot of time, we call in our expert buddy. His name's Juan. He's been hanging out back here. I don't know if you caught him on camera yet. Juan slides in when we got the big expensive projects. He helps us out a lot. Part of the reason these things come out so nice is the craftsmanship of the actual craftsman. It's just as good as going to a good auto body paint. If you go to a bad painter, you're gonna get bad paint. That's what you get. So we call in a guy that knows what he's doing with it all the time. That's what he does 24/7, and he likes to work at night, believe it or not. So we'll have to come in here about midnight to catch him working, I think. But so Juan, tell us a little bit about what we're actually doing here. Does the customer need any type of prep work whenever they show up? Do they need to do anything before the vehicle gets delivered?
So generally I would like if you wash your car before you bring it up to me, but that could also be done from us. That's an added service. What we're doing here, we're gonna wrap this Gladiator. This is an Avery Dennison printable film. It's got a satin laminate on it. So it's a two-stage process. You print the film and then you laminate it. The laminate's gonna give you a UV stable protectant over that. Also keep it from scratching.
Now, is there any special soaps or anything you got to use when washing this?
As far as caring for a wrap, you want to use a pH neutral soap. You have your spray waxes and stuff that can protect it, but you don't want to use like a normal wax on this. You can't really get that off the same way. It can possibly damage the wrap. With the satin finishes, you don't have to do as much care as with the glosses. The gloss, you want to kind of wipe her down quite a few more times. This will kind of hide a little bit of that dust and dirt. Also, with the satin finish or the matte finish, you're kind of covering up a little bit of the body there. You don't have as much reflections. The ceramic coat's a great option for protecting your wrap. It'll obviously help clean it a lot better and help it kind of stay away from the elements. You've got all that stuff that you can just kind of slide off there as opposed to this where it's kind of grippy. Ceramic coat will help with longevity of the film. It is a UV stable product, so it's going to kind of help keep the sun from deteriorating the film over time. You might be able to get an extra couple years or so out of the film. It is a 5-year film on this specific printed film, so we're going to try our best to get the full 5 years.
Now what's really neat about this vinyl is it's actually an air release vinyl. It comes out very smooth as long as the prep work underneath the vehicle or on the vehicle is actually really good. So you need to do a good clay bar on it. You need to do a good alcoholing, make sure there's no chemicals or anything on there. So that's where a lot of this labor is involved. This is where a lot of the pricing is involved in this kind of stuff.
So what that air release is going to do, it's going to allow you to lay the vinyl on. Let's trap ourselves a little bubble here. You can literally just push that air right through. Makes your life a little bit easier when you're going through these contours and curves. Just makes for a nicer install.
Right on, pretty cool stuff. We'll go check in here in a few more minutes, see what other tools he's been playing with. Cut tape. We got Marcus going to explain a little more about what the cut tape actually is.
Alright, so all of our vinyl wrap material we use is of the dry application variety that can be cut with cut tape. So this allows you to cut and shape the film instead of using razor blades that could damage the paint. So we definitely don't want to do that. So there's a couple different types of cut tape. There's stuff that is meant to cut straight lines. There's stuff that you can do some designs with it. So it's a really neat tool to have around. But basically it has this filament in the inside of it, and you rip off the end of the green and then you start pulling, which I've already started here just to make it a little bit easier. And it'll actually cut right through that. So and then you just come back and I always just kind of boom, now you got a line. So however you laid your tape down, you got your perfect line in there.
Window tint trip. Yeah, messed that all up. Might as well throw some window film on it while it's in here. We'll do some film tips and tricks some other time. As you can see, Juan is finished up. He's actually already taken off. He's already doing a midnight wrap somewhere else. We did the final assembly, got her all put together. We've actually already sent her down the road, make sure nothing flew off.
Yep, all stayed on. So
as you can see, it's a very pretty job. Juan knows what he's doing.
We added a couple things to it. Didn't really add, but we wanted to keep it as a Willy'S. So there are some of the Easter eggs you see on Jeep that are still on here, like the black grill and some of the logos and stuff that you really can't see on video that are kind of showing through that make it a little unique. Give us some extra touches.
It's really difficult to capture on video.
Yeah, it's really difficult. It says Willy'S there still, trust me.
Now the purpose of this video was to show you that you had a quality craftsman that you could depend on here in Ohio. Anytime you need a wrap done or something custom done to your vehicle, Mid-Ohio Auto Styling is a place you can stop. Now if you're not in Ohio, hopefully this video gave you some tips and tricks on how you can find you a good craftsman in your own state. So if you can't make it to us, hopefully this video helped out in helping you find something you can depend on.
Yep, and of course you can always reach us out on any of our social media and we'll point you in the right direction, whether it be with us or somebody else. And we know lots of people all over the United States that are really good craftsmen. So
maybe we can help you pick a shop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we know some people. We know.
So in closing, we decided, well, really Jeremy decided that we have to finish it a certain way.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, if you're not going to say it, I'm going to
Yeah,
say it.
you might as well. We'll both say it.
All
so,
right. And that's
A wrap.
wrap.